the third episode of Morbid Visions, a very cold episode. Today, we're going to talk about Laserdiscs. Now, Laserdiscs were a format that no longer exists, but they came out to the market in 1978, believe it or not, that long ago. They were the first laser-based media. It actually gained popularity until the mid to the late 90s, actually. It was mainly because of the price. From what I read, it was the price of the players that was the issue. It's just mainly collectors, rich people, I guess. And so back in the day, my parents, we didn't have a Laserdisc player, but they did have what was called video disc player. They played what was called CEDs, and this was 5-6 years before VHS. But we had these things. Hard plastic case. What you would do, you'd put it into player, slide into the player. This part would click. Once you heard the click, pull the case out, and it would leave it in there. It's basically the same principle as vinyl. It's like an album that played a movie, which was awesome. So, I mean, I was in 5th, 6th grade or something, and I could watch Godzilla anytime I wanted, which was like the coolest thing in the world. So we had these things. They were basically, Laserdisc was a much higher quality at the time. So Laserdiscs were like DVDs. CEDs were like poor VHS quality. But who cares? You got to watch movies in your home. I just want to show this. This was the first one I ever bought with my own money, unless I had birthday money or something. One of my favorite movies of all time, The Howling. So, very cool. Again, before VHS was even a thing, I could watch The Howling whenever I wanted. Awesome. But there was one time I remember where there was a store in Rhode Island. It was called Ann and Hope, which is no longer open anymore. But we used to go into the record department, and my parents would buy the video disc there. And I remember one day we were looking at them, and I looked over, and I saw like all these other things there. And I asked him, I'm like, what are those? And my father's like, oh, those are Laserdiscs. But he didn't really know much about them. I was like, okay. I just noticed they were very expensive compared to the video disc. So never looked at them. So fast forward now to like the early 90s or something, and I had known what Laserdiscs were. I kept reading about them in movie articles and magazines and stuff. People, like different filmmakers would mention Laserdiscs. And finally, my father, a business he was working at, they closed down. And he came home one day. He brought home a bunch of stuff. They were giving away everything. And he's like, do you want this? And it was a Laserdisc player. Just a basic player. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, definitely. And around the same time, I can't remember how I first found out about this, but in my town, there was a store called Laser Craze, and it was just a Laserdisc store. And they did rentals as well. So I started renting Laserdiscs, and it was just awesome. It was it was exactly at the right moment that I needed, because this was the mid-90s now. And like I said in episode 1, the mid-90s, horror was just dead. Mainstream horror just was sanitized. They weren't allowed to make good horror films anymore, it seemed like. So I started renting these movies, and right around the same time as well is when Laserdisc started gaining popularity. And they started putting out the special editions of Laserdisc. This was the first time for special edition media and horror. And so I was loving it. I started renting them, I started buying them. The only thing that sucked about Laserdisc was each one was between $35 to $40. So it got a little pricey. Luckily, I was living at home, I was out of school, I had credit cards, and that got me in trouble financially. We won't talk about that, but once I started buying Laserdisc, I ended up buying a Criterion one with commentary, and it was the first time I had bought one that had commentary on it. And it was only playing the commentary on the audio, and I was like, what the hell's going on? That's when I realized this was just a basic player. So I had to go and I had used one of my credit cards, and I bought like a decent player. It just energized my love for movies and horror movies and everything, because also all of them were coming out widescreen. So now you were seeing them the way they were supposed to be seen. As opposed, like a perfect example is John Carpenter's The Fog. I had liked the movie. I was never a huge fan of it at the time, but of course I was also only seeing the VHS copy that you could rent. Poor quality, not very, kind of really grainy, and which is not a bad thing. I like grainy stuff, but just poor quality, pan and scan, the tight, smushed, like sometimes only half a character would be on the screen. It made movies look terrible. I rent the Laserdisc. It's the full Panavision widescreen, And I remember the part with Adrian Barbeau driving to the lighthouse. And it's just this huge epic shot of looking down at the road. I'm like, my God, this is a different movie. This looks like a multi-million-dollar movie. And it just, you started to be able to see like just how nice some of these horror films were shot. So I became obsessed. I started just spending way too much money on Laserdiscs. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a bunch of cool Laserdiscs. Why it just helped reinvigorate my love for horror, and say obviously it happened to a lot of people at the same time as well. So these are just different ones that I bought. These I'll start with like the bare bones ones, but when I saw this one was no different from the VHS except better quality. But Tetsuo the Iron Man, had to buy it. Saw it on the shelf. I was like, oh God, yeah, I have to own Tetsuo. So I got that one. Very mainstream movie. I know a lot of you probably don't like it, but I actually like it. I'll admit, I enjoy the first Scream movie. So I got Scream when it came out. And but the cool thing about this one, the reason why I bought this, the director's cut. I believe the director's cut was never released on DVD here in the United States. I don't even know if it's available on Blu-ray. I heard it might be, but so this was the full uncut with it's like 20-25 extra seconds of gore. So that the scenes were much more violent in this one. So that was cool. Maniac. Again, it was just a single DVD, but it came with extras. And the cool thing about this one is it had the promotional promotional film clip of Mr. Roby, I think it's called, for Maniac 2, which unfortunately never got made. Probably one of my rarest ones, Cannibal Holocaust. So this was cool to have on Laserdisc. Can't show you the back of this one. I'll get in trouble from the video. So actually I bought this on eBay, but I was like, oh, I have to have this. Twisted Sister Live. Stay Hungry Tour. So this was like at their peak. So this was really cool. This was the concert that, back when MTV was worth something, when I was younger, they would play concerts on Saturday night. I didn't get to see this when it was on TV because I didn't have MTV at the time. But this was the cool classic concert from them. Not a great movie, but John Woo's first American movie. Hard Target, and it's got the Japanese obi on the side. Reason why I bought this one, because I had heard about it. So this is the full uncut version of the movie. Now, 3/4 of the movie, exactly the same. Get to the finale. Oh my God. The shootout in the Mardi Gras warehouse is awesome. Full John Woo shootout. Universal, whoever put this out, I think it was Universal, butchered this movie. Or the NPA probably. They're probably the ones that did it because it was the mid-90s again. The full shootout is awesome. I mean, so much gunfire. I mean, they're just unloading clips into everyone's bodies. It was just, I'm watching, I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. Okay. Not horror again, but I just thought this was really cool, and some collectors might find this to be really cool. But nice thing about Laserdisc back then, the original Star Wars. No CGI, no extra scenes. This is the original Star Wars. The way it should be, and never been released on DVD. I don't think it's even been released on Blu-ray, and supposedly Lucas has no intention of releasing it. But this is the full, actual, real version, theatrical version of the movie, where Han Solo is still a cold-blooded killer. Okay. Very cool in here. Evil Dead 2. Contains one of the best commentaries still I've ever heard. Commentary with Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, Scott Spiegel. I think Greg Nicotero's on this. It's just so much fun. So fun. Well, what was cool about this one? This was a limited edition one. Also, I'll show you what the Laserdisc look like. So the same size as an album, but this one was a nice blood red special edition. So I thought that was really cool. I won't bother trying to get that back in. I'll just put that aside over here so we don't waste time. All right, now we get into the more special stuff that really made these things cool to own. Box set, Yoratsu Kaiduji, The Perfect Collection. Now this isn't Yoratsu Kaiduji Legend of the Overfiend, the movie, and like the sequel. These are the 5 OVAs as they were played in Japan. And the thing about this one is this is fully uncut. You think Yoratsu Kaiduji is bad, Legend of the Overfiend? This thing is outrageous. I mean, when I watch this, my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, oh my god. So very cool. I like to show you the pictures inside, but I can't. Another cool box set. I had to have Evil Dead, of course, my favorite movie of all time. Another thing that was disappointing about this one, I can't remember how much I paid for it, but you know, you get a box set, but I had this. It had the inlay with like stuff on it, but that's all it was. Unfortunately, I was hoping it would have like a pamphlet or something that would open up, but still, it was very cool. And it had one of the discs entirely just special features. So again, this is one of the first times when you're buying these movies that you were getting all these special features that you never saw before. You know, all the raw footage from when they were filming. To see behind the scenes stuff of Evil Dead was just amazing. It was just so cool. Now to get into the ones that just, when you bought these, they just felt special. So Halloween. And what's always nice about these, I mean, this one isn't too extravagant, but you know, a nice gatefold, like a double album. So, really nice addition. Again, one of my favorite movies, The Howling. So, again, the stories about, you know, the making of the films. Some really nice photographs inside. Just really nice releases of these things. Again, full of special features. Phantasm. This is really cool. You know, it's got a write-up on every single character. It would just, again, it's like, well, not again, but it feels like you're buying a really nice tribute to each movie. It's like, it's not like you're just buying, you know, before you're just buying the VHS box, which, you know, mainly they looked really nice when you lined them up because they had the nice fat spines and everything. But when you got these things, I mean, it just looked so nice. I mean, look at that. That's incredible. That's awesome looking. It just gets you so much more into the movie, I felt like. It felt like you were buying, like, the ultimate edition of a film. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Again, full of special features, audio commentary. All the stuff, obviously, that the Blu-rays and stuff have now, but back in the mid-90s, it was the first time this stuff was coming out, so it was just so cool. New and exciting. Exciting, that was the main thing. It was just exciting to all of a sudden have all this stuff available. Because we never had it, obviously, on VHS. And the stuff, these editions look so good. Right now, I'll show you full of behind-the-scenes photos. So when you got a hold of one of these and once you cracked it open and looked at it, it was just like, again, felt like you were buying like a tribute to these films. I didn't like this cover very much. I wish they had the original artwork on there, but what do you gotta do? Here's a nice example. Criterion Collection. Now the Criterion Collection, unfortunately, these were very expensive, but I love this movie, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I mean, you open this thing up, it's just so nicely done. I mean, look at that. It's like, I mean, it's like a full celebration of this film, which was just very exciting to get a hold of a movie that you loved and really enjoyed, and to see it packaged like this was just so cool. Again, full of special features. I think one of the discs is just nothing but special features. Now, this one's really cool. Ooh, I forgot to clean it off. I'm sorry. They've been sitting around for a while because unfortunately I don't watch them as much anymore. Box set of Hellraiser. Got it signed by Doug Bradley and Ashley Lawrence. But so this thing's really nice. Take this thing out. And then you get the nice gatefold of Hellraiser. It's really nice. Really nice packaging. And then also, inside, customizedly etched with Clive Barker's artwork, and you get the full script. which was great because I remember this one wasn't very expensive. Like some of the Criterions, they went up around $100. I only bought a couple, which was stupid, but so yeah, get the full script of Hellraiser. So nice bonus because I don't think I even knew that came with it. When I took the thing, I was like, oh no way, that's awesome. So you felt like you were getting your money's worth with these things. I mean, I see a lot of people right now about Blu-rays, how even people will buy just Blu-rays because of the size. The DVDs are too big. I mean, come on, DVDs aren't that big. Blu-ray only gives you like another inch. And granted, yes, these take up a lot of space, whatever. But like I said, who cares? It felt like you were buying the ultimate version of the movie. I mean, it's more of like it's a collector's piece. And yeah, whatever. I don't know. I'm a collector. I can't help it. Having compact space just doesn't really matter to me. Now, here's something that this one's really cool too. Another rarer one, but this thing has a lot of cool stuff to it. Cannibal Ferox, Make 'Em Die Slowly. To be able to own one of these things of this movie, I was just like, oh my god. I was like, had to have it. Let's see here. I'll open it up. I'm gonna have to cover some stuff. So yeah, opens up again. Nice. You just wouldn't expect something like this from Make 'Em Die Slowly, you know? And that's the back of it. Full of special features. But you also get a 45 record. It was a promotional piece for, I guess they put out a full vinyl of the soundtrack. So I had 2 tracks on here, which is, it's just fun. It's fun to have. And then it also comes with Cannibal Ferox Barf Bag, which is pretty damn cool. So I was happy when this came in. Again, just really nice packaging. Love the way it looks. Alright, I got one more that I saved this for last because it's a funny story. So this is my best Laserdisc story. Pink Flamingos. Normally, I don't know if I'd normally buy this movie, but I was on vacation in Florida, and we were going to Disney World and Universal Studios. So one night after we went to one of the parks, me and my friends, we went to downtown Disney with all the shops and everything. And inside there was Virgin Records. Excuse me. I went into Virgin Records and I bought 2 Laserdiscs. I bought Platoon because it was special edition. But Laserdiscs also got me into just buying all kinds of movies. It just opened my eyes up to so much different film that I never bothered watching because I was only watching horror. And then I saw Pink Flamingos. I had known about it. We had already got a hold of a bootleg of it. We heard about it being the filthiest movie, blah, 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 all that crap. But I saw this there, and how much was it? It was $50. Yeah. It was a Criterion, because Criterion, yeah, they're always more expensive. Has special features. I think it had commentary on it. But I was like, I'm buying Pink Flamingos in Disney World. I mean, how messed up is that? It's supposed to be one of the filthiest movies ever made or whatever, and I'm buying it in the middle of Disney World. I just thought that was the coolest thing. I made sure to leave the Virgin Records on it. Unfortunately, I thought I put it in here. I have the receipt somewhere. It must be in like a junk drawer or something. But it says Virgin Records, Downtown Disney, Pink Flamingos. I made sure I saved that just to show it as proof. I wish I found it for this video. Sorry I didn't. But so yeah, Pink Flamingos, thanks to Disney World. So, those are Laserdiscs. Those are just, my best looking ones. I actually have many more of these. But again, it just opened me up to film so much more because of how good it looked, and I just love the packaging and everything. So I've got like all the, they got Raiders of the Lost Ark, all the Indiana Jones movies, I got all the Star Wars movies, lots of action movies. I've got, Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, all that. Asian movies, like Bride with White Hair, that one opens up really nice. I didn't bring them because I wanted to stick mostly to horror, but it was just so much, it was exciting. At a time where new horror films were very bland and boring, it was a great way to reconnect with all the classics from the 80s and the 70s, and it was new and exciting, and it reinvigorated my love for horror. So yeah, these things were really cool. I mean, granted, I don't even watch them anymore, unfortunately. I actually, doing this is making me want to set up move my player into another room and just set it up on a TV where it's just, I'm only watching that. But yeah, just love these things. They were so much fun. It was at a time where you needed something to bring back your love for horror, and this is what did it for me. So, all right, well, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. Like the video, and please, if you haven't, subscribe to More Vision Films, and we'll be back for another one. All right, thank you.